No cliffhanger. Oh, am I in the hospital? Lilly, are you there? Come on. What's going on? Am I in heaven? As I slowly open my eyes, a bright white light assaults my retinas. For minutes I just lay where I am, mindlessly staring ahead while my scattered thoughts coalesce in my slowly waking mind. Slowly but surely, the white begins to come into focus as a bare expanse begins to be drawn across my field of vision. I see lights. It's only when the light fixture comes into view that my mind clicks that this is the ceiling above me. And I'm in the hospital. Slowly levering myself up, I silently absorb through all my senses that details of the room I'm in. The smell and taste of strong bleach hang in the air, lending the impression of a place just slightly too clean to be natural. Inoffensive pale peach-colored walls, all perfectly painted without a crack, stain, or imperfection. A single framed painting hangs on the wall, perfectly straightened. Like the walls, it's as boring and inoffensive as can be. My attention's grabbed by the translucent curtain waving across my vision, my eyes following it to the open window it covers. When I move my right arm to try to lift myself up and look through it, I feel the catheter dig in uncomfortably. It's only now too that I notice the cannula tubes winding around my cheeks and into my nose. The mask. After some fidgeting, I settle for just looking around the corner of the window. What's good in seeing this CG where Lilly's not there? It's just the countryside. Wait, what's the title? Hold on. Oh, under a modern sky, okay. Beyond the thick leaves of several large trees, I can see the greenery below, backing out onto a field. A customary island of green on the outskirts of the city. Judging by the sun outside, it's noon. Of which day, though, I'm not sure. So, I'm in a hospital once again. I let out a long, tired breath as I try to collect my scattered thoughts. My mind seemingly cast in a dozen directions all at once, with as many emotions running through me. After slowly lying back down, I decided to start at the beginning. Why I'm here. I cast my mind back, but I can't work out a smooth recollection of what happened. The events of last night, or whichever night it was, come back more as a series of snapshots than any cohesive memory. Lying on my bed, looking at the origami bird, talking to Hideaki outside the Hakamichi residence, running down the street, passing pedestrians and bumping into more and more of them. And why can't I remember Lilly? Don't tell me I have. Please don't screw me. Don't tell me I forgot. I have what? Amnesia of Lilly? Better not. Falling. Okay, alright. Looking up at the searingly bright airport entrance, seeing Lilly's back as I lay on the ground. Yeah. The silence of the private room suddenly feels overwhelming. So that's it. I had my chance to correct my mistake, and I blew it. Whether I was at fault for neglecting my medication and disregarding to pace myself, or my body was for giving out so soon, it doesn't matter now. It's too late. Ouch. No. All that matters is that, once again, I'm alone. The pastel blue pillow yields with little resistance as I let myself fall back onto the bed, its starchy case, along with the starchy sheets, providing little comfort. Compared to the darkness of last night's events, the bright light of the room around me is striking. All it does though is emphasize how otherworldly places like this are. Arrhythmia. Oh my god. We're back to this emo-ness from Hisao back in the beginning of the game. A strange word. A foreign alien one. One that you don't want to be the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. It was a miracle that you were able to go on so long without anything happening, they said. And then it did. My condition had taken away everything. My old school was of no importance anymore. My home was reduced to a faraway place. Both my friends and my first love simply stopped visiting after a length of time. I became cynical and embittered, distant and subdued. In my defense, no person could avoid that after such a thing happening to them, but nonetheless I left the hospital as a very definitely changed person. Things changed. I made new friends in Hanako, Shizune, and Misha. I found a new sense of home in my dormitory, a new interest in science and the world around me, and I found a direction to my life that I had never felt before. But I had also discovered other things. The sense of isolation in Yamaku and its surrounds was not entirely unwelcome. The quiet giving a peace of mind I might not have found elsewhere, but it gave the area a feeling of being pushed out of the way, of being kept out of sight. People in the streets would sometimes glance awkwardly, or quickly turn their heads as they realized they were staring. Even if my condition wasn't visible, my uniform was. Even if it weren't, I was still different. I took 17 pills a day, morning, midday, and night. My scar, though hidden behind clothing, was still a permanent mark of my condition. And most of all, there was the very real possibility of death. A bad fall, an absent-minded hard hit on the back, a simple sprint taken too far. Anything could have set my heart off, and several times I teetered on the edge of the abyss, even with all the care I took of myself. But that was fine. I could have lived with all that. I couldn't live without Lilly, because there was one final thing I had found, or rather refound after entering Yamaku, which was once again snatched away before my eyes. It's only now that I realized just how delicate my newfound sense of happiness was. Everything depended on her, the linchpin of my life since I first entered Yamaku as a sullen, confused, and aimless transfer student. Lilly Sato was the one person I could depend upon above all others, and who reciprocated the love that I felt for her. But I failed her, and only realized it all too late. I thought I could just set my life up and continue that way forever, but the real world doesn't work like that. I finally realized the meaning of those words, only to be struck down as I confronted my failure to do so in time. The surroundings I'm in now are all too familiar. Deja vu. It's as if the Yamaku was but a dream, and I'm still recovering from my first major heart attack. Maybe that's why I feel so tired. I'm sick of it all. It feels almost as if I've lived the entire last few months of my life in the space of minutes. The weight of my eyelids closes my eyes, my physical and mental exhaustion letting me offer no resistance. And the clock ticks. Unintelligible mumbling from the head of the room stirs me out of my sleep. With my eyes still closed, I can focus and make out someone, presumably a nurse, bidding farewell to a doctor. Could it be Lilly? We can only hope! As I open my eyes, I notice the door closing in my peripheral vision. The doctor stands reading some notes off a clipboard held in his hand, carefully looking over the pages. Okay, not yet. After consulting his obviously very important documents, he looks up and notices my gaze. It's now that I notice something slightly odd about his expression and general disposition, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Ah, I see you're awake, Mr. Nakai. His quick glance to my bed and to verify my name shows that his documents obviously didn't have it written on them. I must admit that this is a bit unfortunate. Your parents visited just earlier while you were asleep. I could notify them you're awake now if you like. Thanks. That would be good. I gave a somewhat dazed reply, most likely the one you would expect, before really thinking about what I'm saying. Not a problem. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, I'll be happy to answer them. That is, unless you prefer to rest. The anesthetic's still going to be affecting you a bit, I'm afraid. The anesthetic, of course. That would be why I felt so strange the first time I woke up. I slowly shake my head, not wanting to dislodge any pipes or cause myself any more discomfort than necessary. The doctor politely puts down his clipboard in response. I guess my main question is, what exactly happened? Alright, that's what we want to know, yes. Did Lilly get involved or something? To put it simply, you've unfortunately had another heart attack. While not as severe as your first, you were very lucky it occurred so close to a hospital. After being stabilized, you were taken to the operation room. What followed was keyhole surgery in order to insert a temporary pacemaker. All in all, the incident happened 2 days ago, with emergency treatment being carried out very soon afterward. Since then, we've kept you under close observation while you asleep. Will I be alright? Are there any lasting problems? Compared to the procedure carried out for your first heart attack, this was relatively minor. Well, you will have to undergo surgery once more in a few days' time to remove the pacemaker. Assuming there are no complications, there should be no lasting implications. He continues talking, the subject shifting to a repetition of facts about arrhythmia and my medications that I already know for the most part. I start to nod and feel interest while my mind drifts. Let me take a deep breath first. Calm down from that false excitement. I think that's why the title of the previous segment was called False Cadence, because it's really false hope. I'm beginning to think about how perfectly hung the inoffensive painting hanging on the wall. You mean this one? Behind his shoulder is, and how neat and sterile the surroundings are, even including the doctor himself. If my mumbling bores you, you are quite welcome to say so, Mr. Nakai. Lord knows, I lose track of myself sometimes. He gives a short chuckle at his self-deprecating joke as I grimace awkwardly, having been rather badly caught out. The doctor's chuckle sounds different from that of the nurse at Yamaku though, come to think of it. As I ponder why, I realize why the man in front of me feels just that little bit off. His smile is neat and sterile. He delivers his little joke perfectly, with a customary inoffensive chuckle. It is like, rather than talking to the man whose name is neatly printed on the name tag pinned to his left coat, I'm merely interacting with an actor reading off a pre-rehearsed script, every action having been choreographed beforehand. That's something. I suppose he has to be this way though, being a doctor. He has to keep his neat and sterile smile while chatting to the girl with cancer slowly spreading through her body, when reassuring the woman who will surely die from childbirth, and with every other terminally and critically ill patient. That little bit of distance, that little bit of aloofness. It makes me wonder if I've been too harsh, especially considering it's a disposition far from being adopted only by people in his profession. After all, the one I loved kept that same distance from others herself. Looking up to the doctor again, I realize I've been in thought, with my head bowed for some time. I understand you must still be tired. You have been through a lot, and as I mentioned before, the anesthetic would still be affecting you. If you don't mind, I'll let you get some rest and tell your parents you've woken up for you. I think that would be good. Thank you. He gives a curt nod before picking up his clipboard and making his way to the large white door in the corner of the room, closing it behind him with a thud. In the end, I'm alone again. I'm so sad. Lilly's gone. Akira's gone. Hanako will be travelling, and even my parents have already left the hospital. 4 pale peach walls, 1 white ceiling, and a single open window to look out towards the world outside. It's hard to think of the future when the past is crowded around you, claustrophobic in its neat, sterile, starchy, bleach-smelling grip. Lost for what to do or focus on, I content myself with sleeping the time away as if this were all just another dream like Yamaku had been. White. a sterile clean white for a sterile clean room. My eyes opened, and I simply stared at the ceiling for some time. It's about as interesting as the television would be, mounted in its metal rack hanging off the ceiling ahead of the bed. Indeed, the television saw its entire use during the time my parents were here. Left on quietly as they waited for me to wake, it was about as banal as it had been the first time I had ended up in the hospital. Earlier today, an attending nurse had offered to turn off the EKG speakers. What is EKG? Please enlighten me, or maybe I'll Google later. I refused simply because the sound is so entirely normal to me now. It's almost comforting in a way. Oh wait, is EKG the kind of the doctor machine, that thing that wraps around the arm or something like that? I think so. I'll need to check again. The metronome-like regularity gives at least some feeling that time is moving. Even in a place such as this. Oh right, yes, it's the EKG, the thing that's wrapped around the arm, some part of the body, I can't remember. Yeah. Doctor's equipment. After some time of listening to its beeping while I fully awakened, though, I realized there's another sound in the room. Concentrating all my efforts on listening, a task made rather easy by the lack of distractions. A tiny, tiny melody can be heard. Light and quiet, the music sounds almost fragile as it's dwarfed by the EKG's pulses. Is it that music, the music I'm listening to right now? Hey wait, could it be that music box? Could it be that music box? Could it be Lilly? No, I just can't help but keep crying, Lilly, please come back. Yeah, remember that music box from back near the beginning of Lilly's route that we bought for Lilly? Yeah. Tilting my head just slightly to the side in an effort to see the source of the melody without dislodging any of the sensors and pipes stuck onto me, I noticed a little wooden box sitting on the nightstand next to the bed. Yes, it is that music box. It is that music box! It's Lilly! Where are you? My mouth opens just slightly while I silently watch the tiny yellow metal drum slowly rotate inside, the little bumps on its surface gradually moving in and out of sight. This music box is the one I gave. The creaking of the door breaks me out of my reverie, my head and heart remaining still as my eyes turn to see who comes through. Oh no! Yes! Oh yes! Lilly! Long tan skirt, peach off the shoulder sweater, pale, almost porcelain skin, blue clouded eyes and long yellow hair. Oh, Lilly! Oh. All I can do is stare as Lilly slowly walks into the room, her fingers slightly running over the wall for orientation, and my mind comes to a shuddering halt. Lilly? She stops mid-stride, her entire body tensing. Hisao? Was that you? Her voice is quiet and pensive, echoing her expression. I thought you were... Lilly takes one tentative step forward, then another, as if she were holding herself back. Her control over her composure is for naught though, and she finally rushes over to where I lay as the last of her resistance falls. Oh, the scene! Oh no. This is so touching, so emotional. The hug, with the music box by the side. Oh. I'm slightly taken aback when she grabs hold of me, hunching over as tears begin to fall from her cheeks. Since only minutes ago I thought she was on the other side of the world. After a moment of hesitation, I rest my right hand on her soft shoulder. Hisao! Hisao! Lilly's body trembles as her tears blot the pale green sheets, her emotions flooding through her carefully maintained exterior. With her face now closer, It made easier to see for her pale skin being lit by the sunlight from the window. I noticed her cheeks being redder than they should be. It's okay, Lily. I'm okay. You don't need to... She rights herself quickly. Her crying forcefully stiffened with both sadness and stubbornness, remaining in her moistened eyes. Her prideful nature, always having been something to contend with, takes me off guard. See, she lets out her emotions of crying and all that. Yeah. Stop telling me not to worry about you, Hisao! Just this once. Let me cry. I'm caught speechless. She waits for a response, but her composure breaks again after a handful of seconds. I swallow hard to try and settle my own emotions while she weeps onto my bed. A strange mixture of relief and depression welling up. Lily's here. She's really here! If I couldn't feel her skin under my hand, I would hardly believe my own eyes. My efforts weren't for nothing. My body's attempt to take away everything that was important to me once again has been foiled. Yes, I did it. I did it. You know, at first it seems like so near and yet so far, but we did it. We beat the arrhythmia. But now, I don't feel as happy about it as I thought I would. Well, seeing her here, crying like this over me, this is the one thing I had wanted to avoid since coming to love her. No, even since leaving the hospital. But well, you know, she misses you, so just let her cry her heart out. I'm sorry, Lily. It's my fault I'm here. I shouldn't have tried to push myself so far. I give a self-deprecating snort. After months of keeping myself together so nobody would worry over me, I went and did something like this. I guess I'm pretty dumb. With a couple of sniffs and a long breath, Lily manages to pull herself together and calm down a little. Despite her red cheeks, moist eyes, and the lines of her tears still visible, she delicately wears that weak smile she seemed to so often give. You needn't blame yourself. I heard later that it happened as you were running down the road after me, right? Oh, thank God for that. Still, she wipes her eyes with the back of her hand, returning more to her old self as the rush of emotions wears off. Why did you run after me, Hisao? I moved to response, but noticed her face tightening. Come on, Hisao, be a man. Say it! Even after I've said goodbye, and I left Yamaku Academy? She takes a moment to steady herself, her emotions almost bubbling up once again. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. Huh? Sorry? For the times when I wasn't there when you needed me. Until now, I thought you just being there would be enough. I only needed you by my side to make any day feel better. Even if my body may be like this, I want to help you, Lily. To be there when you need someone. But you always were there, Hisao. Why did you want to go to Scotland, Lily? Oh, why? I told you before. Because Akira was going, and because of my family's summons to their home. You know that's not true. Why didn't you say that you wanted to go? I'm not stubborn often, but this one time I think I need to be. I wanted you to stay here, Lily. I want you to stay where everyone you know lives, and where all your dreams and ambitions are made. If you choose to stay, I'll never leave your side. I won't let you lose another person. When I had my heart attack, I was snatched away from everyone and everywhere I knew. You showed me a new life after I came to Yamaku. I had lost my past, but you showed me a future. Very nice words right there. It's true that I haven't always been there for you. I'm unreliable. Sometimes I lied, and I thought I had come to understand you when I hadn't even understood myself. Be that as it may, I want to give you a future as well. I want to prove to your parents that I'm worth it, no? You deserve me. I want to be there for you, to share both your burdens and your happiness, just like I promised back in Hokkaido. I want you to trust me. I know I had problems coming to put my trust in you, after losing so many people I had known after my heart attack. But that's how I know that being unable to trust others can feel awful. That's why I can't watch you just throw away everything like that. I never want you to go through what I did. I would do anything to stop that. You can be quite steadfast when you want to be, can't you? As I said, it isn't often, but when I have to be steadfast, I have to be. I'll do it. My weak smile drops, though, as the IV in my arm digs in a little. It's a harsh reminder of my teeter to my condition. Lilly's face tenses as I let out a small gasp of pain, immediately making me wish I had stifled it better. All I can do is sigh in defeat. I try not to let anyone worry about me for the entire time since I left the hospital, but I can't even stop the one person I love most from crying over me. Even if I might finally be able to put my feelings into words, I feel pretty useless with a body like this. Every time I tried to reach towards something, it was just snatched away, and even now things only turn for the better due to luck. I guess that's something else I should apologize for. All I can ever do is make you worry. Even now, there's very little chance I'll live anywhere near a full life. So, despite all that, will you accept me, Lilly? The feeling of Lilly's warm, soft hand moving over my left cheek makes me lift my head up, her gentle smile and warm as she touches me. I think there is something very natural for you to say. You are always so sincere and self-conscious. You are also reserved and mild-mannered, and patient to a fault with Hanako, yet curious about everything and everyone. When I said I missed you while I was with my family, I wasn't lying or exaggerating. The thought of you was never far from my mind, and helped me through that time. That's why I was so confused about what to do when my family summoned me. Even after I thought I had made my decision, you tried your hardest to challenge me about it. I didn't confess to you out of pity or believing you were somehow different from what you are. I confessed because I never want to lose you, and want you to always be a part of my life, no matter what might change. You are a very beautiful person, Hisao. Your heart changes none of that, so please, don't apologize for yourself anymore. For a long time, silence reigns in the room. I'm not really sure what this newly born feeling inside me is, but it pales into insignificance as I wordlessly gaze at Lilly's smiling face, warm and gentle as it has always been. It's only as her thumb crosses my cheek, wiping away a single drop of moisture, that I realize this is all I've ever wanted. For what feels like the first time, I give an earnest, white smile. As Lilly feels it against her palm, she returns the gesture. More time passes before either of us says a word, neither of us needing speech to communicate our feelings to each other. I know I can't promise you that I'll always be around, or that we'll be together forever. With some difficulty, I slowly lift my hand, placing it on her pale shoulder. But I think I can at least take you to next year's Tanabata festival, to make up for making you miss this year's. Lilly's expression is one of surprise, though I can't say I blame her. You remember that? Of course! I've got a pretty good memory. Sometimes. She raises her head a little and takes her hand from my cheek, giving a small amused giggle. I smile absent-mindedly at how earnest it is, almost girlish in its lightness. Still smiling warmly, she collects herself and stands upright, with her hand resting on my chest. It feels like I'm seeing her for the first time. The sun from the window glowing behind her, just as it did when I first walked into that room where she was drinking tea. Very well then. Shall we make a promise between the both of us to go to next year's Tanabata together? Even if she can't see me doing so, I nod approvingly. I promise. I promise. And this is the end. Oh. Well, the build up was really intense. You know, the build up to this part. Finally reunited. Like, thank goodness, you know. I myself almost had an heart attack. But anyway, let's look at the concept art for a bit. Oh, the concept art. She looks a bit more like a doll as a concept art. But I'm glad, you know, it turned out, yeah, looking normal. But I think the initial sketch looks a bit like a doll or something like that. Yeah. It looks like a doll in this image here. But the final product looks a lot better. Oh my god. This route is so intense. And if I have to be honest, okay, let's wait for this part to end. Actually, let me just continue. I think Lilly's route is by far the longest of the 3 routes that I played so far, and it's not over yet. Wow. I mean, I never got an epilogue in Amy and Hanako's route, but Lilly's route, we have an epilogue. Alright, so let's see what the epilogue is. Akira, Lilly and I silently sit on the grassy embankment high above the local town, the breeze gently blowing through the cloudless sky. This must be Scotland. We may be just a few minutes walk from town, on a hill just outside its limits, but the view is entirely unexpected. Lilly sits beside me, her eyes closed, as the gentle breeze flows through her hair. This is a nice area. Yeah, I never knew a place like this was anywhere near Yamaku. Alright, it's not Scotland. But it's still a nice view. And I had to be the one to find it, of course. Akira's green is genuine, but her tone is slightly different from her usual carefree nature. Okay, Akira also stays behind, that's great. It's good that you're out of the hospital though, Hisao. Nobody's more glad than I am. I can't stand hospitals. So, you two going back to the school tomorrow? Yep. Akira chuckles in amusement before looking back out to the town below. The trees between the buildings swing in the wind. Pity we couldn't go up north for the summer holidays, or get to Tanabata. I wouldn't worry. That's always next time. You'll be graduating before next summer vacation, won't ya? Yeah. There'll still be college after that, mind. Going to the same one? Lily, we both have high enough scores to meet the entry requirements. Great. You sound so sure. Don't worry, you're better than me in most subjects. I guess we'll work it out in due time. That's the way. Just enjoy yourselves in Yamaku while you're there. Lilly gives a sad sigh at the distinction made between Akira and the two of us. Do you really need to go back to Scotland? Okay, so Akira's going back to Scotland. Oh well. Yeah, the folks are really out for my blood and say this. Alright. You weren't meant to stay this long. She gives a trademark white grin. Setting my boyfriend up with a passport took some time. You're taking him with you? Oh. Just for a while at first. He's a surprisingly worldly guy, so I think he'll do just fine. Akira gives an amused snort. If only we knew who this boyfriend is, I would like to know more about him. If our father had his way, I would have gone a long while ago. I just couldn't pass up an excuse to stay with my favorite little sister a little while longer though. She leans right and gives Lilly a tight, playful hug, cheering her up considerably. It's nice to be with you one last time though. For what it's worth, I'm in the same boat. Hey, thanks to you too. I'll try and come back sometime, don't worry. It's a shame that the business keeps you so busy. The place won't run itself, I'm afraid, and I think I'm going to be just the same over there. Considering that, I better get going. Have fun over there, Akira. Haha, will do. With a slight grunt, she lifts herself with her hands and stands up, dusting herself off as she does so. Well, I better be off. The plane won't wait for me after all. She has a certain unusual wistfulness in the tone of her voice, her eyes firmly planted on her sister. I'll be okay, Akira. Yeah, I know. Now, it isn't that bad. You'll be able to see us again soon. It is strange to have Lilly reassuring and doubting Akira for once. She really has changed. Goodbye, Akira. Bye. For a second, the dark-clad figure looks down at the both of us, smiling widely. Perhaps more widely than I have ever seen her do before. She lets out a long, slightly wavering breath to steady herself before leaving, but eventually slips her hand in her pocket and turns on her heel. And with that, she walks away, one hand held in the air as she goes. Yeah, the signature wave. Goodbye. See ya later, you two. A jazz tune with no beat, melody or direction to the very end. After a few moments of sitting silently, Lilly and I pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off. Turning towards her with a broad smile, I hold out my hand. Shall we be off then, my princess? She takes my hand in hers with a gentle nod and a smile as beautiful and warm as ever. Indeed we shall, Hisao. Oh, what a perfect way to end this route. With this perfect view. Oh yeah. As we set off towards the school, that wonderful smile engraves itself onto my memory. That wonderful smile that we both share. Our paths may be scattered and at times overshadowed by sadness, but they're also an irrevocable part of our lives and personalities. Even if I could change a single thing, I wouldn't, because my past was what led me here. That's why, even with all that's happened to us before, and all that may well before us, together, we'll keep walking forward. Forward, towards the future. Our future. Oh, what a road. What a road, man, I'm telling you. Whew. This is one hell of a route. I think this is by far the best of the 3 routes I've played so far, and also by far the longest. It's seriously very long, no, as opposed to Hanako and Amy's routes, because Hanako and Amy's routes, I mean, they pass by pretty quickly, but Hanako really feels pretty long of a route, no. Yeah, but finally it's over, and wow, like I said, it's a heck of a ride. I think, if you ask me honestly, I think Lilly's route is, I think it's the true route, you know. I think I've said earlier before, but I really think that Lilly's route is the true route of this visual novel. It's really fantastically written, and it really, you know, I really love how, why I say it's the true route is because I really love how this route actually, you know, brings back to the beginning of the game, right? Yeah, back to the heart condition that Hisao had before, you know, deja vu all over again. So which really reflects the whole theme of the story, like as if this is really the true story of Katawa Shoujo, you know, Lilly's route. Yeah, that's why I feel, you know, this is the true route, and also the longest route, and also arguably, but I think most certainly the best route, okay, so far. Okay, if not one of the best, you know. Yeah, so yeah, Lilly is by far the best route in my humble opinion. I think even better than Amy's route, and Hanako's route, because there's really so much depth in Lily's route as opposed to Amy and Hanako's routes. You know, Amy and Hanako's route, I didn't really have much to talk about, but Lily's route, there's so much going on, so much emotions poured into, you know, this particular route, and I really have to give kudos to the writer of this route, because I know that this game, Katawa Shoujo, has different authors for different routes. Yes, each route has a different author. So, and I think Lily's route is by far the most in-depth. Okay, really explored a lot of Lily and Hisao's personalities. Okay, and that's why I say it's, you know, it's in my humble opinion the best route of the 3 I've played so far. You know, Amy, Hanako, and Lily's routes. I don't know if the other 2 routes will top Lily's route. I seriously doubt so. You know, Amy, or rather, I don't think Rin and Shizune's routes will actually top Lily's route. Okay, unlikely, but we'll see. So yeah, one heck of the route. I really enjoyed Lily's route. Love it. So 3 down, 2 to go. So that being said, I will most likely be going for Rin's route next. So Rin's route, I'll have to probably figure a bit out on how to, you know, how to go for Rin's route, but I think I kind of have an idea. And just so you know, I'm not referring to the walkthrough because I don't want to spoil myself. Yeah, so I'm not referring to the walkthrough on the internet. I'm just going to figure this out on my own. So alright, so that being said, I hope you all enjoyed my playthroughs of the, you know, Amy, Hanako, and particularly Lily's route. I hope you have enjoyed, you know, watching this playthrough, and I hope to see you again in the next playthrough. That will be Rin's route. So till then,